What's up, YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and today I am joined by Sean Reynolds, the customer service manager at Bullion Max. Welcome back, Sean.
Hey, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you. I'm really excited for this video because we're talking about the right time to purchase precious metals and dollar cost averaging and all those things. So let me just
Mhm.
ask you right out the gate, when is the right time to buy silver and gold?
There's only one answer for that. 20 years ago and today.
True that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, if you bought outside the year 2000 and you held it, holy guacamole, you got a great return on your investment. And that's where the long game is ideal. It's your best friend in precious metals. It's not for flipping. It would be great to buy it and never have to trade it, sell it, give it away, whatever. Okay. But you did buy it for a reason. And hopefully that reason is either for protection for yourself, your family, as an investment to buy and hold. Maybe it's going to become a down payment for a house. Who knows? But it's important that you acquire your metals in an affordable way.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I had someone just recently ask me, it was like a few days ago, they said, should I buy right now or should I wait a few months and kind of see what happens? And I was like, if it were me, I would buy right now and also buy in a few months
Right.
because we don't exactly know. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. We think maybe it'll go up or down, but we're all just guessing at the end of the day, right?
That's right. And today might be the best price it's going to be going forward. We don't know. But then again, if it does fall, okay, as long as you don't cash out, you don't realize a loss. You got a loss on paper. Okay. But that's where buy and hold comes in. Because if you don't sell quickly when it dips down, you don't get that loss. But if you hold it through a couple of up cycles, now you're making money again. That's why time is so important to doing that. I think for people who are just really sitting on the fence and grappling with that idea, that's a good time to maybe spend half of what your budget was going to be. Because if it goes down, you'll be glad that you just spent half of what your budget was, and now you can make a purchase at the lower amount. If it goes up, you go, well, thank God I bought some because I got that at the lower rate, and now I'll make the rest of my purchase. You know, there are all kinds of strategies like that you can employ that help with your dollar cost averaging, which how would you define that? I know a lot of people think about the term and think they might have a feeling for what it means, but how would you define that?
Well, there's two ways to do it. You could either spend the same amount every other week or every month, or you could buy the same amount of metals. For example, you buy 20 ounces every week or
Mm-hmm.
every month or whatever your budget is, but you have consistency. It's
Mm-hmm.
slow and steady wins the race.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, they just buy every paycheck. They'll put it in their budget and they say, okay, I already know $250 is going to silver, and either I'll get 10 ounces or I'll get 9 or whatever. Maybe I'll get 11 ounces. I don't know, but that's what I'm spending.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just slow and steady. And I really do think that's the best strategy.
Yeah, and I hear from a lot of people first of the month. This is when I buy my 10-ounce silver bar, and that's all they buy. But you're right; it's a reasonably priced order. It's something they would be able to do each and every time, so there's not a reason not to do it. And so, yeah, slow and steady, most definitely. Try not to buy so little that you're ever paying for shipping. You're
Oh,
probably
right.
better off to save up until you've got more than that $199 so that at least you're putting all your money toward metal. So sometimes waiting just a little longer, since what you're trying to buy is metal, well, buy just metal. Don't pay for shipping.
You certainly never want to pay for shipping. That's a wonderful point. I would say, when I first started stacking, I had such a small budget that I would save up for a week and only be able to buy 1 ounce. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, what my strategy was, I would just go down to the local coin shop,
Yep.
literally buy 1 ounce, because that's the only way you can really do it effectively. And like you said, not have to pay for
And
shipping and all
not pay
those
shipping.
things.
Hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people don't have a local coin shop near them, or maybe their prices are pretty whack. And so they prefer to buy online. And so, yeah, you got to save up for at least that $200 or whatever it is going to be in the future. I mean,
Hmm.
who knows how long it'll stay $200. I remember when it was just $100 for most of the dealers, and those
Right.
days are long gone.
Yeah, yeah, inflation like everything else. I have a collection. It's one customer, but there are three women who pool their resources and make regular orders so that they always can beat the shipping amount. But there are times when they place some pretty significant orders, either because we had some unique products that they were interested in, or other times it was just enough to meet the minimum. But I would say they order twice a week,
Wow.
and they always pay by check.
That is the way, either ACH, e-check, or physical check. So you don't have to pay those additional fees. No one wants to pay the PayPal or credit card fees. That's just,
Hmm.
it's terrible.
Yeah, it is. And what's most important is getting that lock on the price. Because when you do place your order and you're going to send us payment separately, or you're going to set up an ACH payment, what's most important for you to know is the price is locked, but we're also setting aside the inventory for you. So don't worry about how long it might take for a check to arrive, because they always show up eventually. No big deal, but at least your price is locked. You're going to get your stuff, and like I said, we set aside your inventory as well. So if you ever get an order placed and we haven't received your check yet, and you see that something is sold out, we still have yours. It may look like it's sold out, but it's sold out for new orders, not for you. We've
That's a
got your
great
stuff
point.
set aside. So
Yeah, that's awesome that you guys do that. Let me ask you this, Sean. Is there ever
sure.
a bad time to purchase precious metals?
That's a really good question, because we already talked about the crystal ball and the not knowing. So I think where the market is not a reason not to buy.
Mm,
Where I think some people make mistakes in purchasing precious metals is perhaps taking successful stocks, cashing them out, and buying metals and expecting this amazing performance. I think you're most effectively purchasing precious metals when you've got extra dollars hanging out. So maybe in a savings account, or maybe in your checking account, where there's still it's paper money, but it's just stored away somewhere. Okay, that's a great source of funds for purchasing precious metals. Because the last thing I would want to do is hear about somebody who got in so deep that almost as soon as they receive their delivery, they have to cash out,
mm.
because they cut themselves to the quick. It's like they heard about metals and they just bought into the message a little too strongly. I think you can overdo it, given your family budget and all the other responsibilities that you have. Um, I think you need to make sure that you still meet those responsibilities and don't jeopardize those things. But otherwise, anything extra you have, yeah, that's where those funds really ought to come from.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Silver and gold, they're not a get rich quick scheme. And additionally, your other point, if you buy and then have to sell immediately or within a few days, you're basically always going to lose money because of the premium. So you really want to hold it for as long as you can, hopefully decades. That's best case scenario. And that's where you're going to see the real returns, I think.
Absolutely. It's kind of like the best time to buy joke, 20 years ago. Oh, okay, so that's hindsight, but my goodness, what a great story it tells. So maybe today is the day to set up the next 20 years. Who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. All right. Well, hey, we really appreciate your thoughts, Sean. Always good to hear from you. And we look forward to having you on again in the future.
Sounds great.